I love you. Yeah, 11 total.
All Aldermen present. Everybody stand as Mr. Jacob Christ died for us, Lord, and is safe. God, we pray that every one of you help well for Christmas and the year to come, and bless this council, bless the mayor as they lead us in Christ Jesus' name. We pray this.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight, the mic at the podium is not working. So everybody that's in the room from the podium, they speak up so everybody can hear. And we'll ask that while somebody's speaking, that we keep the chatter down so everybody can hear. Before we get started here, I've got a statement I'd like to read, and it's concerning urban renewal plan, area. I'd like to take some time to clear up some misconceptions regarding the city's proposed urban renewal plan. The revised plan deals with 4 parcels, one owned by the city, which houses public works, 3 owned by an optical manufacturer. The area totals approximately 22 acres. The 4+ acres that lie on Government Street, north of the city-owned property, have been under the oversight of NDQ as a brownfield. There have been several tests performed on it, and there's testing going on that site right now. The property is currently under contract by a developer who proposes to build a high-end Hilton boutique hotel. The property is zoned CMX, and that use is allowed to build a hotel. The city has met with the developer of the old brownfield and are closely monitoring their progress. Residents want to know the plan on this site. It's in the developer's court at this time. The property, we are dealing with the landowner who is a willing seller, and if the developer doesn't buy, the city will explore that option. There's been a lot of gossip about convention center. The convention center has never been mentioned on this piece of property or in the urban renewal plan. What has been discussed is the idea of a conference center and not a convention center. The current revised plan mentions tourism, economic development, recreation, green space, and the Ryan Youth Center. Regarding the Ryan Youth Center, the plan addresses refurbishment, renovation, or redevelopment on or near its current location. Residents are asking about transparency and would like to see the plan for this site. Currently, there has not been a plan proposed before the board because the redevelopment authority will have to work through those details. We know we need more ball fields. We know we need more pickleball fields. We know we need more baseball fields, baseball fields and basketball fields. And what I truly hope comes out of this proposed plan is a combination of all. But there also must be a way to sustain all of our recreational programs and facilities. It takes money, it takes economic development, and smart growth to have the nice amenities that everyone wants. This plan would support cleaning up the brownfield, improve public work site, and enhance recreation. I'm not sure why why we wouldn't take advantage of the opportunity to improve this area. Proposed plan also mentions property acquisition, property disposition. When the topic is mentioned, people immediately jump to eminent domain. We're not looking to do that, and we don't expect it in this plan. The city expects solid negotiations and arm's length transactions. Eminent domain is a power given to the city by law as a tool of last resort to protect the city. The plan states that any property acquisition or disposition will be handled by the city, not the RDA. Members of the RDA are very smart and they're very experienced. They are volunteering their time for the betterment of Ocean Springs. Quite frankly, I know they don't want to have to deal with any of that ugly stuff like eminent domain. I know they don't. If it ever comes to that point, eminent domain, which I seriously doubt it will, the city will, of course, take that route. We are ready to move forward and task these members with work. They need to be engaged with the city, community, and they need to be engaged with this developer on this hotel. One of the members of the RDA told me, and I quote, "Kenny, the capital is coming to Ocean Springs. We can let it happen haphazardly, or we can guide it in the direction that is better for the betterment of Ocean Springs." So what I'm going to ask for is your patience as this thing comes together. Anytime you hear or read something that you think is an issue, please contact your alderman or call me directly. We encourage citizens engagement. We want you to ask questions so we can have a healthy dialogue. Don't start placing signs all over town about a convention center. That's the furthest thing that's going to happen on this piece of property. We will work more diligently to keep communications regarding projects in the city's official communication channel, which is our board meetings. Let's work together to continue to move Ocean Springs forward with the growing our community the Ocean Springs way. Tonight, the board will vote on adopting the urban renewal area. That's all, not an urban renewal plan. And then we'll also vote to set a date for public hearing. So that's the two actions on the urban renewal. Next item on the agenda is the Mayor's Youth Council vote updates.
Council. So I'm really excited to be here with you all tonight to give you an update on what we've been working on so far. So at the beginning of each year, the council chooses an initiative. This year, our initiative is Domestic Violence Awareness. So we're partnering with the Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence, and our goal is to raise awareness on the topic of domestic violence as well as the center and all the do for victims and victims. So we donated a portion of proceeds raised from our event for lawn to the center, and also helping out with the holiday projects like wrapping gifts to families and volunteering at their places. Another big part of what we do is helping out at city events. So far this year, we've had the opportunity to volunteer at Coast to Coast Peter Anderson festivals, and then also some of the community events like the cemetery tour and City Springs. So at these events, our members have opportunities to do a lot of different things. Sometimes they're volunteering with the chamber, other times we create social media content, and other times they're volunteering with Denver Children to help with a lot of things. So at the beginning of each year, all of our members are notified about certain requirements that they must meet, special projects or unique opportunities that arise throughout the semester. So some examples of ones that we completed this year are the Song for Tornado Relief, the end of summer barbecue, the Mississippi Coast Beach cleanups, and the Duchess Club donation drive. And then beyond special projects, members are also required 2 hours of service, either prayer, C, or C. Another one of our requirements is small group projects. So at the beginning of each year, each of our officers is assigned 5 different members, and every 2 to 3 months, each group has to complete a volunteer project, which they come up for themselves and complete at the end. So this is a really good opportunity for our members to be creative and work on projects they're truly passionate about, rather than just the opportunities that we hand to them. So first round of small projects this year, some examples were lighting encouragement on the school buses, handing out waters at 5 on the 4th, putting posters up the Ocean Springs High School representing the city, and filling up real libraries across town with books. And then another thing that we really enjoyed is having guest speakers attend our 500 student days. This gives our members an opportunity to get educated on job opportunities, how to be a leader, as well as the element and how that works. So far this year, we've had 2 guest speakers. Those were Charlotte Brown from the Local Center for Nonviolence, and she was one of the Ocean Springs Starting. Next council also hosts our own events. In order to do this, we have to raise money, which we normally do by going out into town and finding sponsors. So our 2 biggest sponsors this year are Side Concert and Mosaics. This means that they each pay us upward of $500, and in return, we advertise for them on our social media as well as around the city. So the money that we raise from our sponsors is used to pay for supplies, food, and games for all of our events. And any leftovers is used for our council year. So the first time we hosted this year was our Life Skills Fair. After the 2023 State of the Union address, we found that one of the most prominent issues among our youth was a lack of knowledge on basic life skills. So the goal of this event was to educate our youth on life skills, job opportunities, and other options when that after graduates. So some of our vendors included Kids College, Bullshit Building, Fast Eddies, city government officials, and the Ocean Springs Fire. And then our other really big event is the lawn. So normally the lawn will be hosted twice a year, once during the fall and once during the spring. And the goal of the event is to give the youth this fun, safe place to hang out after our sport events. And then along with that, we use these events to advocate for some issues that we are working. So this year we use that to further advocate for this domestic violence awareness by donating some of our proceeds to the local center. So that wraps up what we've done so far this year, moving into 2024. Some of our goals include launching and hosting events, various spent on the Earth Day event, and going on the beach. We'll be continuing with smaller projects and special projects. We're hopefully going to be planning to launch for the spring, and I think we will be starting to prepare for the 2024 State of the Union.
I'd like to say thank you, and thank you, Raven, and everybody that's been involved with this. It's a great program, and as a business owner, I do like to try to support you and what you'll do.
What was that number you already, 45? That's awesome. Okay, thank you. Very nice. Aye. Motion carries. Closed session for just a short period.
They just left to discuss executive. Yeah. Good day. I've just been known to clear a room.
That's all right.
Do any of y'all want to sit?
Motion was made by Alderman Mike Kennedy, seconded by Alderman Pena to stay in executive session to discuss the city's litigation.
What? We can hear. We can't hear a word you say. Really? Nobody can. Get close to the mic.
I need to get.
Yes,
Right.
right. Okay.
You can understand.
Motion was made by Alderman Kennedy.
No, they're just gonna have their talk, and then when they're done, they'll come back out to. Yeah, no, there need to be a motion.
Hey, do y'all have a napkin in your purse? I've been watching it from there.
Oh.
I'm gonna to unsmudge the thing. Going towards your one more time.
Five or 6 minutes after. Yeah.
Sign the settlement agreement with the Sands development and the neighbors. So as soon as we have confirmation that the other settlement agreements been signed, that will put that situation to bed, so to speak, and the Sands move on. So we're going into public hearings. First public hearing is to adopt an ordinance to approve request for zoning change from R1A special apartment use district to R6 residential district, R265 Front Beach Drive, northwest corner of Front Beach Drive, and Martin Avenue, DID 614700000, applicant the Sands at Front Beach LLC, planning commission recommends approval.
That'd be me. Okay, now I'm gonna make this relatively brief, but this is the consideration of the recently created, first rezoning of the recently created R6 district. Okay, thank you, yeah.
Motion to go into public hearing.
Second.
Mr. Cox, second, Mr. Wade, all in favor?
Aye. Thanks.
Okay.
This is, very exciting. This concerns the Sands Front Beach, about 5.5 acre piece of property. You said planning commission is recommending approval of the rezoning. This would be the rezoning this property, Sands, to the recently created R6 zoning district, which does allow single-family detached houses, but on more smaller lots, which would be compatible with the intent of this Sands area. The applicant's attorney presented a supplemental description of the changes in the neighborhood and other relevant factors. That was presented to the planning commission, and they took that into consideration when they were doing their review and their discussion of the zoning change. In addition, the applicant's attorney made a presentation to the planning commission on the rezoning, describing the changes that occurred in the area and on the characteristics of the property. After a bit of discussion by the planning commission, they did recommend approval of the change in zoning to the R6 district. I'll be glad to answer any more questions you have about the details of it, but that's a summary of where the planning commission stands. Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak for or against the approval of zoning?
Good evening, Robert Schwartz, here on behalf of the Sands and Front Beach. As Mr. Morgan was telling you, we made a detailed presentation to the Planning Commission previously regarding the the various requirements to change the zoning from the existing R1A to the R6 classification. We met, we believe, each of the burdens that were before us with the planning commission, who again suggested and recommended approval of it. I'm not going to go through the presentation that we went through with them because I know you've already seen it. It's part of the record. We put in a number of studies relative to the need for the particular housing and the compatibility of the R6 zoning classification with the surrounding neighborhoods. And so we will rely on that record in support of that. I would further note that the neighbors who had previously made objections to that withdrew their objections and they were in agreement with the proposed R6 zoning, and I'm referring specifically to the neighbors that were involved in the litigation. We are simply awaiting the execution by some of those neighbors of the subdivision. That has been signed by the Sands and Front Beach LLC as well. So we would respectfully request that rezoning be granted from R1A to R6. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Anyone else want to speak for or against the request?
Right here.
Speak up, Mike.
Yeah, so I sit right here. It's a little cut off. Hey, Mark Gallagher, the Lord. I was at the planning thing. I'm glad to finally get it squared away a little bit. But one of the things I just want to come up, I know others that those great homes. Glad they finally were able to reach the thing. Something they figured out that was an entrance and exit on the beach. The city, Mr. Fountain said a while back there was an entrance on the beach, but they got that squared away. One of the things they said in the thing, and it's like, they said this, one of the fellows sitting about the rigs that said this is some precedence. And I just want to say that if when we do this, let's because a lot of times Mr. Schwartz and other guys, they come in to get big projects and they get these things redone. But I'm a little fella, but I'm looking to change the property to a R6 too soon, and it's in smaller neighborhoods than this right here. So I just hope that's not going to be an issue. Let's just keep it safe for everybody. That's it.
Anyone else would like to speak for or against the request? Okay.
You say some of the participants still have to execute their part of the deal. Does that mean they've got to sign off on the agreement?
I spoke to Mr. Geis this afternoon, who represents the neighbors. He told me that he had received all of the signatures from the neighbors who were involved in the litigation, with the exception of 2 that were supposed to be coming in to sign later this week that had simply been out of town. So, but the rest of them, I understand, have executed the agreement, other than the 2 that hadn't been signed. So there is not an issue related to that.
Our motion was to sign with the, to execute the agreement, correct me if I'm wrong, with, and that would be executed with proof that everyone else had signed.
That's understood from my perspective, and likewise, the Sands executed the agreement, and I represent to you that they have, and we'll deliver it to council from the city of Ocean Springs as soon as Mr. Geis delivers the counterpart signatures, and we're waiting on them. So, but I spoke to him less than 2 hours ago to confirm that very issue.
Okay, this has gone on so long, we don't really want to make changes and do things unless all are in agreement.
I understand that. There are, to my knowledge, Mr. Cox, no problems whatsoever, other than Mr. Geis said the 2 had just simply been out of town, but we're coming in to do that.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Motion to close vote. Second, Mr. Ray, second, Mr. Austin, all in favor? Aye. We have a motion. I make a motion to adopt the ordinance to approve the request for zoning change from R1A special apartment district to R6 residential district for 265 Front Beach Drive, northwest corner of Front Beach Drive and Martin Avenue, parcel ID number 6147300.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approve the plan unit development outline and final plan within the R6 residential district for 265 Front Beach Drive, northwest corner of Front Beach Drive and Martin Avenue, PND 61473001000. Applicant is Sands and Front Beach LLC. Planning Commission recommends approval. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Wade.
President, could you scroll down to the, site plan for the stands, please, just so we can get that up on the screen? One more, nice. Next page, please. That front down there. There it is, bingo, that was, yes, thank you. Okay, and that's the plan that's being considered, tonight. As it, mentioned, this is both outline and final plan approval for the Sands development, meaning this, takes care of both the, concept plan in terms of number of lots and more detailed information on the plan. This is a development unit, 31 single-family detached dwellings, with also including 2 existing partially built dwellings that are also to be incorporated into that 31. They're in the southeast corner of the property, which is the property. Also, the existing private streets will be utilized as internal streets, with the addition of a Royal Parkway to extend to intersect the connecting Front Beach Drive that is about in the middle of the property. That location there, exactly. Thank you, Greg. As I said, this is both outline and final plan. So this does enable the developer to begin construction of the houses once building permits and other details are worked out. Also, this does utilize the R6 zoning district, which you all approved just earlier than this. So that the development of 31 units is consistent with the requirements of that R6 district. When the Planning Commission considered this, they did have some discussion about the items. They recommended approval of both the outline and the final plan, which is coming to you tonight. That concludes what I have to say. If you have questions, I'm glad to answer them. And also, Mr. Schwartz is here. Yeah. Thank you.
Questions, Wade? Is there anyone here would like to, speak for or against? Is there a motion to close the public hearing? Mr. Cox, sir. Mr. Blackman, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And the motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the plan unit, the development outline and final plan within the R6 residential district of 265 Beach Drive, northwest corner of Front Beach, and Martin Avenue, parcel ID number 614-730-00.000. Applicant stands at Front Beach LLC, and the Planning Commission recommends.
Second. Motion by Mr. Aldermen, second by Mr. Blackman. Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is public comment on agenda items. Public is invited to address the board for 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Regarding issues listed on this agenda, please identify yourself and the agenda item before speaking. Anyone like to address the board on this agenda item?
Deputy URP.
Elizabeth Bader Hosey here. I have a letter I'd like to read to you all. Forgive me for not memorizing it. It's been a long day. We're happy to see that you all rescinded the initial Storm Life determination of April 4th. We are also happy to see that you have abandoned the proposal for November 21st to designate a smaller URP area that would have labeled many homes and businesses as light and slum. As you know, property owners and business owners were not happy with that, and they did not want to be included in that, so we thank you for honoring their wishes. The Solomon Light designation are very dangerous for owners. They bring with them the power of eminent domain, including eminent domain for private development. Because these designations do not expire, the threat can hang for decades, and owners within that area will be reluctant to invest in those areas because they don't know if those investments will stay with them as property owners. Should eminent domain occur, not by this board, but at any future time, it's apparent that you all are excited about urban renewal, that you want to access those funds and move forward. And the fact that you're just sticking to city property and not trying to involve private property owners against their will or business owners against their will is appreciated. And, and all that I'll say is that citizens are still concerned that this could happen in the future. And the notice provisions that you originally wanted to do, I think the week of Thanksgiving, that those should continue. So if you do pursue further redevelopment, please consider sticking with the notice provisions. But on behalf of the Institute for Justice, we do believe the statute is still unconstitutional, the urban renewal statute, because it doesn't provide for notice. So we will consider that going forward. But at this time, that's all I have to say. And this letter is with the city attorney. It's on public record. If you'd like to read it, because I'm sure I did not exactly say everything that's on here. Right? So thank you.
This is Sharon Beckman. I have a little letter I wrote. I can remember everything I want to say. I don't agree with the Ocean Springs. What? My address is 11412 Wedgewood Lane, Ocean Springs. What I want to say was I don't agree with the Ocean Springs Urban Development Plan as it is written. My biggest concern is the reference to the 1970s Mississippi law to remove impoverished people by labeling their property as blight to a city. The urban development plan should improve those properties, making them livable and safe structures. My grandmother lived in a home that the city would have labeled as blight, but I'm thankful that she was able to raise a family in that home. People in Ocean Springs live in Ocean Springs because we like this small town atmosphere rather than a run-of-the-mill suburb overrun with box stores and a corporate overtone. If you want to develop more tax revenue or infrastructure, then purchase vacant lots or commercial property that not people's homes. I want our town to retain its quaintness, charm, and small town shopkeepers and not commercialize Ocean Springs. Thank you. I have a letter for all of you that I wrote.
Thank you. This part of the agenda is for agenda items on this agenda. So we're talking in general about the old urban renewal plan or urban renewal as a concept, then you probably should wait to the next public comment section. If you want to talk specifically to this map, because there's no urban renewal plan at this point, it's this area, then that's allowed here.
Okay. My name is Steve Tillis, 3211 Cumberland Road, here in Ocean Springs. So most of you have heard my story, but not everybody. So I'm gonna take just a minute to share it again. I was born and raised here. 25 years ago, I had my kids in the youth recreation program, and there wasn't enough facilities for my kids then. So now, what we used to do, we would take the kids after practicing here in Ocean Springs, we'd go to Biloxi, because they had more facilities. So here we are 25 years later. I'm coaching my grandkids. And we're still limited on facilities.
Right.
Limited space, limited practice. You know, during the winter, so we're trying to go outside because there's not enough indoor space. So I'm real passionate about what's going on with this property we have left here at the center of Ocean Spring. And so I want to make sure that I express my concern, and I want to know what's going on. And there's been a lot of disinformation. I appreciate Kenny putting out the Facebook post today. He gave us a lot of information, kind of all the misinformation that was out there. I think you did a great job on letting us know what's happening. So, I mean, I spoke with most of the aldermen here, and, you know, quite honestly, you know, I heard conference center. I heard convention center. So, you know, I'm just being, that's what I was told. So as far as like, so, you know, there's just a lot of disinformation. So it's very helpful with the Facebook post to letting us know what's going on. You know, what I would suggest in the future, and I mentioned it to Kenny, is if this thing does get passed and we do move forward with a conference center, recreational facilities, that we have a focus group that can help put some input on what we would like to see. And I hope that y'all can, you know, keep us, you know, informed and let us help make some decisions here. You know, if we had a conference center, we're going to spend all this money and that place is put back there on that property, and that conference center is not being used, I don't think it's going to be money well spent.
Right.
But if you can take the conference center, and one of the aldermen mentioned it to me, is why not make it like a multi-use facility
Right.
where, you know, whatever.
Chatter, we don't have a light on this county.
I'm sorry.
I said, please no chatter. We don't want any chatter.
Okay. So, you know, if it was multi-use, you know, you could see it being used all the time, in daily, you know, 7 days a week. But, you know, I'm a little bit concerned that it may just sit there, and I don't know. I don't know if there's you know, I don't know if there's been any studies to say, hey, we need a conference center there. We have a civic center, you know, so maybe we could help remodel it.
You're past your time. One thing I did not mention, there is a feasibility study that is going on that piece of property that will address your concerns.
Thanks.
Hi, Liz Elmore, Ward 3. I prepared a letter. I have been educating myself since 2019 about the Lyaka property at 2006 Government, previously referred to as the Optus. Over the past 4 years, I've learned there are at least 4 types of known cancer-causing toxins on the property: diachloroethylene, benzene, TCE, and vinyl chloride. Similar toxins were present on the fallow site. The levels of the toxins at the Lyaka property far exceed the amounts at the fallow site. The city determined the fallow property should not be developed despite MDQ approval to build on it. Over the last 4 years, I've contacted the city more than 15 times about this property. At first, I simply requested information, but when none was provided to me by the city, I filed a FOIA request with MDQ myself. Over the years, I've provided proof to the city that the pollutant on the Lyaka property was above target remediation level. I provided the city proof that the toxins had left the bounds of the Lyaka property, polluting city, private, and YMCA lands. Some of the highest levels of pollutants have been found at the monitoring wells adjacent to the YMCA playground. I related my overwhelming concern for the children at the Y daycare because I have learned that children are a sensitive subpopulation. Children breathe more air per unit of body weight, resulting in a higher internal dose of air pollution than an adult would experience. In 2021, I informed the city that MDQ's records were not accurate in terms of how the Bryan Center is being utilized. The same year, I was able to educate MDQ exactly how close the Y playground is to the pool of toxins. I asked numerous times if the city worked with me, MDQ, and State Senator Bryce Wiggins to request additional testing to be completed around both the YMCA daycare and the Ryan Youth Center. In each of these instances, the city either ignored me, put me off, or refused to assist. For years, I was told the matter is being researched by the city attorney and I should wait. To this day, I've never received an actionable response on this topic. Without city support, I was able to work with MDQ to compel Lyaka to perform air quality and soil vapor testing around the daycare. It was found that levels of toxins exceed EPA regulations, yet no action was taken. NDQ has related to me that the city of Ocean Springs can sue Lyca for contaminating our city's land. Legal action could force Lyca to build a new daycare away from the pollution, yet nothing has been done. Each time the soil is disturbed on this property, our community is put at further risk. I believe nothing should be built on this land, as an enclosed space could allow toxins to build up unnoticed. I think dirt should be brought in, and we should create a green space for the community. The proposed hotel should be discouraged by the state and the city through all means available. I have learned through my years of research that NDQ does not have as much power as I once believed it did. And for the health and safety of Ocean Springs residents, we need more analysis of this property. I ask you all yet again here in this public forum, not in the multitude of emails that have gone unresponded, to allocate funding. I'm very passionate about this because my son attended the daycare. To allocate funding to hire an environmental expert and environmental attorney to properly research this, not a government accountant myself. Here are all the documents from January that show the levels of toxins.
Good job.
Moving on to, old business. Recommendation to adopt resolution is designated the urban area.
Mr. Mayor, we cannot hear you.
Adopt a resolution designating the urban renewal area.
I'd like to say something. We started this a few months ago. Reports were actually all over the city. There was some flack about it, and we pulled it back. When I say we, as a board. Then we come back to the drawing board, and we come to Ward 3. All these people around, I'd say 20, maybe 30 houses, they don't know what's going on. The aldermen don't know what's going on. I think we need to put the brakes on this and do some research. I got a document today at 3 o'clock. I'm at work. I'm at a meeting at 6. I don't have time to read 38 pages.
Yes, sir.
You're not voting on those 38 pages, all you're voting on tonight is the area that
I understand. And I'm getting Ward 3. What's going on?
Yes, sir.
Not today, not tomorrow. There was a lot on Facebook. Whether it's right or wrong, people need to know.
That's all we're doing here. We're not voting on your plan. That will come along after a public hearing is set. And it's all the plan is discussed in the public hearing, and then we're gonna vote on it. Set the guidelines and the timeline. At the last board meeting, nothing's changed since then.
I think we've come a long way with this, to educate ourselves. We've helped the folks here who proposed it, all things that everybody's heard. And we've come to a point where all we're gonna do with this resolution is to adopt it now. 22 acres of commercial property, that's all we're gonna do. And then we'll continue the process for several months or whatever the statements we've got there. But I think that's all we're doing is adopting the map. That's all we're doing. So I make a motion that we do adopt the new urban renewal plan.
There we have a motion by Mr. McKee. Second, clerk. Need a roll call. Can we get a roll call on this?
Aye.
Nay.
Nay. Aye.
Nay.
Okay.
This is a, amendment to provide some of the, determinations what is allowed at the East Beach area. This is, due to some of the increased sidewalk construction that's, starts very soon, and some of the other, changes that, make East Beach, more accessible to both pedestrian and public. See some of the listings of things that are on and was specifically included in this ordinance is to allow low-level bollard lighting or other parking areas, such as a large designated area. Also, converting toilets only during city sanctioned events. Signs, those would be allowed, put up by the city, such as identified high water or dangerous sleep conditions, things of that sort. It's also prohibited overnight camping, dogs running loose, and commercial activity. To specifically note that for-profit commercial activity is not appropriate for these beach areas. That kind of sums up where this ordinance is, and I'll be glad to answer questions about it.
Any questions, Wade?
I'll make a motion that we accept this ordinance.
Mr. Daniel, second, Mr. Hoffman, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Consent agenda, anybody have anything to pull on the consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Next motion to approve the.
I got a. Yeah, I got the full, yeah, the tree. The recommendations for the tree applications. We can approve all of them except for that one.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda except for item O? Motion by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Item O, the building department approved building official recommendation for tree application received through December 1, 2023.
I have to recuse from that vote.
You voted, now you recuse it.
Well, I can't vote for the. I can't.
I don't know what it is.
He has one of them.
I have one of them where it was some insurance issues with trees on a house.
Okay, so what do we call it?
Just so he can
That's
recuse
right,
himself.
just so I can recuse myself.
I'll make a motion to approve item O.
Second by, motion by Ms. Hippie, second by Mr. Blackman, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anyone have anything to pull from the docket of claims?
Make a motion to approve the docket of claims.
Motion by Mr. Cox. Second by Mr. Wade, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anyone have any questions about the monthly budget report? Is there a motion to approve monthly budget report?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hippie, second by Mrs. Cox. Ms. Cox, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's see. City clerk, approved budget amendment, $180,000 for general fund ending cash balance to purchase 2023 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicles and outfit them with state contract price. Is there a motion to approve the budget amendment to purchase 3 police
I'll
vehicles?
make that motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Me? I need to pull 9D if you're finished, sir. Yeah, I need to table 9D. The individual that lives there was not able to come tonight, and so I'd like to table it for later.
Okay. D will be tabled. Item 10, general public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. The two speakers will be allowed per side. Each identify yourself and your speaker.
Good evening. My name is James Lewis. My address is 805 Canebrake Drive, Ocean Spring, Mississippi. I want to commend the board for going back in and trusting God to lead, aid, and guide you in the decision as far as the map is concerned. Thank you very kindly. Have a nice day.
Anybody else would like to
Mike, have you come up with a solution on our drainage there in Park County?
Ms. Katie, name and address, please.
Pardon me?
Ms. Katie, name and address, please. Name and address, please.
For the record, ma'am.
You want my name?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
For the
I'm
record.
sorry. I'm taking out. I live at 1219 Park County Drive, Ocean Springs, Mississippi, 39564. I'd like to know have you come up with a solution? I bought my house there in 81, and I woke up the next morning with a guy flooded in his truck. He slept all night. And the houses was built in 74 and 75. And your fire chief at that time had to rescue my neighbor out of his house. Water was in his house. And nothing's been done. We flagged it this time. The back ditch, the cement ditch in the back. It flooded. The water is not getting out. Walmart way.
Miss Katie, I was 8 years old in 1974. But since then, since I've been in office, we have Mr. Ladner has established a maintenance schedule. The ditches are cleaned on a regular basis.
Where's water going in the houses?
I have not heard from a single, when was the water in your house, Miss Katie?
We don't wait for water to get in a house.
Understand that?
I get in my truck and I drive. Did you get out and look where the water is going? That ditch is filled up.
It does, it flows like scald, my grandfather used to say, it flows
My
like
front yard is
scalded dog.
washed away. My driveway's washed away. All from the flood. All from the water I do. I brought pictures down to the mayor. He saw it. And I've got pictures. And you know it's been going on for all these years.
Miss Katie,
Miss Katie, the money has been put in mine.
and the money has been spent.
And nothing has been done about it. Take the money and put it somewhere else. I'm not a blind, I don't put a blind
I've
on
said that
my eye.
multiple times, and that was just not the case. The money has been spent where it was allocated in the Parkwood, Trimwood, ditches area.
We are flooding out there. We flooded out there this last time. Okay? Nothing has been done. I wish you would do something.
Mr. Lavender.
I'm serious with you. The money has been put there. I have called people and they said, yes, the money was there for the flood. It was August the 13th. Park
Ms.
County.
Katie, your 3
Play.
minutes is up. Thank you.
They put it in the paper.
Ms. Katie, your 3 minutes are up. Your 3 minutes are up.
Okay, that's okay, but we need something done. That's a big investment we made in the house.
We have, how many inches of rain? 5 inches.
Over 5 on Saturday.
Y'all don't know what it's like.
I had streets flooded in my ward, Katie.
Right?
I had streets flooded in my ward. I mean, 5 inches of rain in the amount of time that we got it. I mean, there's a lot of.
I'm trying to get my driveway down. My driveway is down.
I think your driveway has a tree problem too, though, right? From what I've been understanding from these
The
people.
roots from the trees is getting underneath my house.
Well, I'm just saying that I had streets in my ward that flooded as well. I mean, 5 inches of rain is a lot.
Y'all not gonna fix it. I heard y'all laugh about it.
We
What?
Somebody's told me when you don't get out and talking about it, y'all blame
I don't think that's true, Katie. I mean, I've never complained about anybody's yards flooding in the city.
Okay, does anyone else have public comment?
Gary, Ward,
You gotta say that.
a little bit when I spoke to the planning commission, so I was here for that thing, and I told them I stood up here 5 years ago, and I just got back from Key West, and I had the time of my life. I told them, I said, it was wonderful. I said, I loved it. I was happy to come home. I said, please don't let me make this place Key West. And in that 5 years, man, we've been snowballing. But this last year, it's been more than the first 4 years of what she's saying. I saw they just had a new neighborhood. I saw pictures of the new neighborhood out there by the middle school flooded out already. And now they're talking about doing some big development out there right next to the federal grounds. We can't. Me and my pops, we had a block from Beachview to 7th on Spring Street. Years back, we wanted to build houses. We had to get them. We had to come up here. They had the Army Corps of Engineers come out there, tell us it was on wetlands, partial wetlands. And I mean, it was tiny. If Mr. Schwartz would have got him in town, then we would have them all. We'd have built big apartments out there or something, because it was just a tiny little thing back there. But they said, y'all got to build for each 2 months. Y'all can build one house. And that's what we did. And then I sold those lots. And now 6 months later, they had 2 houses on the mother, one on each lot. They just got so we know we have a problem down here. We do get the rain, and we do have an issue. So we got to be more on top. We got to be more on top of messing with the wetlands. You can't keep running. We just like people feeling wetlands like it's nothing at all. They don't even exist down here somehow anymore. They don't exist until it rains, and then we all realize we're able to keep getting rid of our wetlands and the trees. I love that 200 trees, 200 days. That sounds fabulous. We keep letting people chop down. We got rid of our tree commission last administration, where we did that thing back. And because those trees are soaking up a lot of the rain. Hey, that property up there, we got people. I don't know who it is, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not. But I mean, literally right out y'all's window, there was 10, 12 trees cut on that line as soon as they came in. That's what's happening now. Everywhere they go, they just chop down all the trees so they can get stormed. And that sucked up a lot of rain. And I know that because my house is being flooded out because they cut down 100-foot tall magnolia, and then a bunch of other trees on the other side. They cut down 11 trees. And you know, and I told me I'm a tree hugger, right? And it's all right if you're not, you know. But this town, it used to be tree huggers. Right? So how are we attracting people if that's the first thing they want to do? Is just chop down all the trees. So maybe we get the tree commission back or something, anything, but let's, protect us little town, please. And thank y'all so much for that. Hey, I got a tear line back there when y'all, the 4 days, man, that was so, thank you, God bless.
Yes, I would like to say something in reference to trees. I'm Rebecca Olson at 117 Pine Drive. I know the town and myself, we're very, very concerned about the trees because of climate change, because of the value of the oak as far as habitats, preventing runoff, water runoff. And I think that's a protection that we do need, and we do need a tree committee. At the same time, I feel, why can't we put forth some ordinances or some codes that when these large parking lots come in and create heat islands, that a certain percentage of these large parking lots can be landscaped with trees. If they're deciduous, when the leaves come off, it will drop in the winter.
That's already required.
Well, why are these parking lots not, they don't have trees? Are they grandfathered, like the one in front of Winn-Dixie has almost no trees?
That's old. Now, any house any property that goes through the design review, it has to go through the design review and create space.
Okay, great, because it was unclear to me, because I kept seeing these parking lots just
Representative Zuber, to plant 200 trees this next year, 200 oak trees.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Have three vehicles on the property. Tate told me, took up the bridges, I used to get the trucks out of there to the railroad. He took them out and told me I couldn't bring them out to that. It's been over 7 years, come before the board on, before, I'd like to, you ought to let me do something about that. Let me get the trucks out of there. Let me put the bridges back. Thank you kindly.
What are you asking again? I'm not clear about what you're asking.
He used to have skids across the ditch.
On CSX's property? That's not our property.
The what?
That's not our property, that's CSX, that ditch that runs along that train tracks.
Carmen told me that Miss Moran told him to take the bridges up. Mr. Cox told me that I couldn't have the bridges back. And he sent us to railroad, and I used to get letters from somebody every time I got ready to run cable down through that. So that used to be the front of the houses. So we have rights to that. That property go back to the homeowners there.
Why would you need a bridge though? Cause I see trucks going through there.
Because it's mine and I want it there.
That's
on that property.
Thank you, sir. Is anyone else who would like to address this? Okay. Moving on to mayor and alderman's forum, Alderman Burgess.
Alan, we talked about the, getting the new entrances in January, thank you. Wanted to find out what topsoil for the median on Dillard. Do you have any idea when that was gonna be delivered?
We was gonna deliver it the day before the sod, so I don't know what the schedule was on the sod.
Okay, so those are going in.
Yeah, I have the
Because got
topsoil and
coordinated
stuff.
landscape on that, so, okay, just let them know when we deliver it. And, did you ever hear back from Easy Doc on kayak launch? Still? Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay. I'm good.
I have one motion to make, have a request from the Other Place Owners Association to add some additional LED light fixtures to the neighborhood. They're footing the bill for most of it, but they requested $1,000 for more funds for new brighter street lights in the neighborhood. There'd be a slight increase in the monthly cost to the city to help with safety and security of the neighborhood. So I'd like to give $1,000 more funds for that.
Right. Just, I think we have funds for that. It shouldn't have to come out of your ward fund, for life. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to get with Patty to verify that. I mean, I'm fine if you
Well,
do.
they get
but I
approval
think-
just in case, and we'll go from there.
Well, you can,
You can spend it.
we'll do the motion to authorize the spender, whether it comes
Whether it
from
comes from
Ward 5 or White.
I'll second.
Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
Carries.
That's it.
All right, I've got two motions. Make a motion to approve the Ocean Springs paving list for 2023 District 4. As submitted by our project manager, Sarah Harris.
Andy, second, Mr. Blackman, all in favor?
Aye.
Also make a motion to approve the Ocean Springs paving list for 2023 District 5 as submitted by our project manager, Sarah Harris. Second.
Mr. Blackley, all in favor? Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Do we need a motion?
Is that four and five?
Yeah.
Yes.
Two separate motions,
Okay.
District 4, District 5.
I've been just checking.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have one motion there. I'd like to ask the board to make, or to go along with, so we can get this addressed. Now that the urban renewal plan, we're gonna have time to work on that further. That will give us time possibly to go with the state legislature and get the statute changed to give the cities the ability to opt out on the eminent domain. With that being said, I think it's Mississippi Code 433531, Section 2, where it states that the urban renewal agency shall have the power to eminent domain and other power. We would like to request our legislators to make that may, and that would give cities the ability to opt out of that portion of the development authority statute. So I'd like to make that motion and ask that we make that go forward and ask our legislators to do that.
Second, motion, Mr. Dodd. Mr. Lee, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
They asked me to make that motion before they move forward with that. They want
I have nothing.
The tree lighting is this Thursday at 6 in Mary C. The Christmas parade is Sunday. Chambers having their let it snow, holiday open house. There's a lot of Christmas activities going around town.
And the Christmas parade on Sunday is also a toy drive. A great toy.
We've got two new hires. One is our assistant public works director, Mr. Gerald Rowe, and our new police chief, Mr. Riley here.
Thank you.